Hello my friends. I'm wearing a camo jacket that I don't really like because of the bright white that's in there, and if it opens up then we have a lot of white, and the white just stands out if you're in the woods. Too much white. So I need to tone this down. So what I'm going to do is use a natural stain. I'm going to use black walnut, and it'll darken everything up, but it will also soften the whites in this. And if I'm walking and have it unbuttoned, if the wind blows or if it flaps, I'm going to be flashing some white. So I don't like that either. Purpose of camo is to keep your presence at a minimum visibility, and the white does not do it. So let's see what we can do with this. Here is one of my black walnut trees, and you can see right here the leaves are coming off of this, so we're in the fall. Using walnut as a dye, you don't need to use a mordant. There's a real high tannin acids in this, and the tannin acid will be the mordant, and that will make the color stay. Here's a pretty good bit, probably at least a peck of these walnuts, and I'm leaving the other ones. We'll let the squirrels take them and plant them around the farm. I'm going to use about half of these walnuts, and what you can do is let them set until they get black, and the outer surface, the husk, will get soft and mushy, and then you can just squeeze them off. Notice I'm wearing gloves. This will stain. You can also use these green, which I'm going to do, and I'm squeezing the juice right out of this. I'm going to tear this off. Love the smell of black walnuts. It's probably because I grew up picking this with my dad. Look at that. Channel locks are great because you can adjust the gap. When we were a kid, we'd put our rubber boots on, lay these on the ground when they were a little more aged and dark, and walk on them, and that would break the hulls off of the nuts. You can see the juice already starting to darken. I have a dozen walnut hulls in here, and I'm going to put warm water in and then simmer it on the stove. And I would recommend, if you don't want to stain your hands, wear a little bit heavier of gloves. Those light ones doesn't take a lot to poke a hole in it, and that's what it'll do. Okay, water's warm. Now we're going to make our dye. I have it on the stove. Now we want to bring it up to a simmer. We don't want to boil this. We want to simmer it. Boiling it will change the color. It'll make it much darker. While that's heating, you can see here I have these camo t-shirts. Same situation here. The inside is light colored, and I will put these in a dye and change that inside. And not a problem, except sometimes the bottom edge rolls up and you'll see that white. Okay, we're going to simmer this for about an hour. Look how dark the water is. This water is going to be our dye. tannin acids, it's real high in the walnut hulls, and that will set the color. This works best on natural fibers. Synthetic fibers, it will not stick as well. For an hour of simmering, I ran the batch through a sieve to separate the solids, and now I'm returning it. I allowed the dye batch to cool down, and I soaked the garment for approximately an hour, and now I'm going to insert this into the dye. There was not a tag on this, so I don't know what the composition of the fabric is. The t-shirts that I'm going to dye were 60% cotton, so those I know should take a good color set. Okay, now once this is in, we're going to turn the heat back on. We're going to bring it right up to the boiling point and then simmer it for about 30 minutes to an hour. We know the dye works good on skin. Here I let it simmer for 30 minutes, and I'm going to let it cool down to the point where I can wring the dye out of the shirt. I'm rinsing with warm water. This is a few hours later. The dye did its job. I like the way it turned out. Here's the inside that was white. No more bright white on the outside. And that one batch of dye, other than just dye in my hand, I got away with one not being dyed, dyed 7 articles of clothing. So depending on what type of material you use, I put one of my dish towels in there that was 100% cotton, and it really took the dye nice. Real nice brown. I'll have to show you those. This is the brown that the dish towel turned out, and it took the color really nice. Thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.